Hello everybody, Hellcrace here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode 370. And today we're going to be talking about the alphabet soup named Assault Tank. Let's just try to butcher this. Alright, Huitzilopochtli, or something like that, aka Huey. We're just going to go with Huey. That's a lot easier than that mouthful of alphabet soup. Wow, who would name something like that? Oh my gosh. Alright, today's tank, we got another vehicle that was designed by the clans. Well, I could say it's useful if you can get it to the front. But with weapons it does have some extended range to affect the front before it ever gets there. And by the time it does, it's probably out of ammo anyway. Alright, so the Huey is 85 tons, comes in at battle value a little over 1,000. It has an internal combustion engine. It is a 2-3 moving vehicle. Wow, yeah, it's like clans putting something out there that is, woo, slow. It has 10 heat sinks with an internal combustion engine. I'm telling you something. Why? Why would you do that? And then we have basically, 5.5 tons of just plain old armor. Nothing exciting about it. So no bells and whistles on this thing. So that comes out to 88 points. So kind of just put enough armor on this thing to keep the crew from falling out. It can handle maybe, well, on the front slope, you can handle an AC-20, and then that's it. You're done. You got no more armor left. So you got 20 on the front, 18 on the sides, 15 on the rear, and 16 in the turret. So it can handle a Gauss rifle shot or ERPPC. Anything after that is going to punch right on through and probably kill a vehicle. So there you go. Alright, so what we have here for weapons. Kind of an interesting, it's like a bag of assortment goodies. We got 2 medium pulse lasers in a turret and an ER small laser in a turret. There's your 10 points of heat. That's where you get your 10 heat sinks. Has internal combustion engine. Just have to say, anytime I see a vehicle with an internal combustion engine throwing energy weapons on it, I'm like, no, 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 don't do that. You could easily throw in a fusion reactor on this thing and then save yourself a lot more tonnage just to go play with. Yeah, 10 more tons. Can you imagine what you could do with 10 more tons of something? Armor, speed. There you go. Alright, so then we have also an AC-5 Ultra in the turret with 2 tons of ammunition. Okay. You got something that reaches out and touches you a little bit in some distance. Okay, I can sort of live with that. That's useful. And it's a vehicle. It's like anything you can put on a vehicle that doesn't create heat sinks if you don't have internal combustion. If you got an internal combustion engine, I'm for. Okay, just putting that out there. And then we have 2 machine guns on the left and right side with a half ton of ammunition in the body. Then we have the stuff that makes this vehicle useful. Otherwise, so far, I'd be like, no, I'm not even, this thing is like, no. But this actually kind of helps out. So you can hide this thing behind the lines, out of sight, away from everybody, and just rocketing damage out at distance. You have 2 Arrow 4 systems on the front slope with, we got 20 rounds, so 4 tons of ammunition. So you got 10 tons or 10 turns of operation of just laying down barrages, and then it goes click, 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 and then hopefully you have a resupply vehicle nearby that's reloading this thing so it can continually firing later on down the game. So if you got a pair of these things, so one can be firing while the other one's reloading, that sort of thing, so you can keep a barrage going on targets. And then with 2 of them, yeah, you probably will get some scattering possibly, but you know, some of these are going to hit targets. And let me tell you, if you ever face off against a bunch of elementals, you want to kill them really quick, drop Arrow 4 on them. They're done. You just obliterate infantry in droves with Arrow 4 systems, which, you know, makes it really nice. Which is why reason why I can see taking these things, but in pairs, at least pairs, so you can continually get raining down fire. If you get 4 of them firing or 2 of them firing at the same time, you can saturate with 4 blasts in an area, and anything in that area is going to be taking damage. So if you got spray and pray type of thing going on, if you got any type of bunch of elementals causing you havoc, drop them on your own mechs. Yeah, you're going to do damage to your own mechs, but you're going to splatter those things off the face of the earth too. So, and then you can just move on. It's like, yeah, it's collateral damage, danger close, broken arrow, however you want to call it. Broken arrow, that's kind of cool. But yeah, useful. There's the usefulness of these 2 vehicles, and they're cheap. So a little, you know, you're talking 2,000 points. You can have 2 of these on the board or behind the lines and just raining down fire. Now, if the opponent finds them, they're dead. They're just dead. Yeah, that little AC-5 Ultra and those medium pulse lasers might, it's like, oh, you hurt me a little bit, and then you're gone, type of deal. Yeah, that's not enough damage output to really scare a good size light mech or medium mech that's on the faster movement persuasion, that can get in behind the lines and just raid and just destroy. They do a drive-by and you continually move and get behind you and then just tear you to pieces. So then they're like, okay, you got some pulse lasers that possibly could hit them, but you know they're going to be doing more damage to you than you'll do to them. So keep them hidden. And then the last thing, you have a couple ECM. You got an ECM on board in the body to keep Artemis off you, or you know, that kind of stuff, shutting down the enemy from possibly causing you havoc. But other than that, the only usefulness of this vehicle is the Arrow 4. Now, the first thing I looked at it was, what would you do if you did put a fusion engine on this thing? That would free up 10 tons or more automatically. And let's just see what I did with that. Let's see, what was it? Yeah, if you put a fusion engine on this thing, you can bump it up to being a 3.5, got a little more speed. You can put on a couple more tons of ammo for your arrow system, so you can shoot 15 turns, and then you can put a little bit more armor on board. You can kick that up to 6.5, right? So yeah, so 6.5. That's kind of nice to have 6.5 more tons, and then put ferrofibers on it, so you're boosting it up a little bit. So something like that would be pretty good, I would say. So there. Now, other ways of dealing with this thing, and let's see what else. There's another one I played with. Oh yeah, this is the, okay, we'll talk about that one in a second. That's a LRM version. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here. So, we have, darn pop-ups. There is an AAA version. Okay, this one they said come out in the Jihad era. The autocannon and lasers were dropped. Okay, makes total sense. If you drop the 3 energy weapons and the autocannon, you can put on a pair of hyper assault cannons, HAGs. You can have 2 HAG 20s with 24 rounds of ammunition. So you can have 12 turns of shooting off, which is a heck of a lot more damage output than you would have with the pulses. So you put those in a turret, and then you still have the ammunition was increased. Basically, like I said before, the AAA version. I do have the, let's see, where's it at? There it is. The write-up on this one. The armor has been increased, so you got 20 on the front, 25 on the side, 22 on the rear, and 24 on the turret. So you do have an upgrade of the, you're still moving a 2-3, but now you have ECM. You got a pair of Arrow 4s with 15 homing and 15 standard ammunition on board. Still got the 2 machine guns, but you got 2 HAG 20s in the turret with 24 rounds, so 12 rounds of operation for direct fire if somebody comes up close. And if you're seeing any type of VTOLs or even hovercraft or anything of that nature, you can blast them with the HAGs or just direct fire your arrows into them. But you know, you got to aim, you know, your front. It's like a tank destroyer effect then. But that would be kind of more of a useful version, just getting rid of the pulse lasers. You can put on better systems on board because you're saving a lot of tonnage with the HAGs versus pulse energy weapons when you got internal combustion engine. It also has a fuel cell engine too, so that's more useful than the internal combustion engine. So you're saving some weight. This comes in at 1,340 battle value. So it's a little more expensive, but more useful. Your battle value is going up mostly due to the fact that you got the HAG systems. And, you know, the HAG is useful due to the fact that it goes out there to 24 hexes or inches, depending on what type of gameplay you're doing. So, yeah, I can see that being a more versatile version of the Huey. So I can go with that one more. All right. Now, like I said, if you decided to put a fusion engine on this thing, you could easily kick it up to a 3.5, have 9 tons of ferrofibrous armor for 173, which is 51 on the front, 35 on the sides, 29 in the turret, and 23 in the rear. That's well armored. And now there's this version here. I can't find any write-up of it anywhere. This version is talking about is the LRM version. It says it uses Artemis fire control system on LRM launchers, but it doesn't say anything that I can find in the record sheets where they're talking about this thing, unless it is, maybe it's in the 3051 book, possibly, but that's, I don't think I even have a 3051 digital codice. Maybe got a book for it, but I don't know. But I was just looking at it this way. If I was going to design one that had nothing but LRMs on board, you could have 4 LRM-20s with Artemis fire control. You could have 3 AP Gauss rifles, anti-personnel Gauss rifles with a couple tons of ammunition to keep infantry at bay. And then you can still keep your pulse lasers, but you have a fusion engine on board. So, yeah, you're looking at something like that, and it's still a 3.5. Now, if you went with just the standard, still as an internal combustion engine, as a 2.3, see, that's the, you'd have 4 LRM 20s with Artemis. You'd have a HAG 20 on board on the turret. No energy weapon, so you don't need the heat sinks. And ECM is still on board. So, yeah, you're still looking at, then you got 8 tons of ferrofibrous armor. So, useful, yeah, kind of useful. Not bad. But I don't have a write-up to give you an exact data of what that's all about. Then there's a streak version. Once again, I don't have any write-up on it, so it even tells me here, it just says there's an LRM version and a streak version. That's all they tell you. And it has hardened armor. That's it. So it says all the missiles have been upgraded to streaks. That's it. Don't know. So is this a SRM-6 streak carrier. That'd be kind of cool. Something's running around with a whole bunch of SRM-6 streaks, and maybe throw some armor on board. I don't know if it still has the arrow system, and it's just taking off the energy weapons and the autocannon and putting in exchange that for LRMs or streak missiles. I don't know. So other than that, not bad. It's a cheap version of an arrow, which is useful because, just to be honest, when you're running around on the battlefield, having something that is using arrow on a vehicle is more useful than trying to shove, like the Naga, shoving an arrow system into a mech. I'd rather have it on a vehicle that's hiding in the backfield and using my mechs for more frontline activities. You know, getting up in the face and destroying things of your enemy, and then letting vehicles carry around the long range stuff like that. To me, that's a more logical way of fighting the battle. All right, so that's the Huey Assault Tank. See what you guys think of it. What uses have you done, or have you used it? I'm not sure exactly. So, I have never seen one of these on the battlefield ever, in all the years I've been playing this game. So it's kind of new to, other than reading it in the book, it would be new to the battlefield. Useful. I can see its usefulness for standing back and raining down fire, but once the bays go click click in 10 turns with the standard version, then you're going, I need something else. All right, so that's it. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elcrex out.